and let's jump into it.
All right, so what is in the news today?
Well, before we get to the news, uh, another update from Shadow Miner.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, so from last time we spoke about this, either here or the Opinionistics. So got word that Shadow Miner is in the process, or have finished the process of training a couple of new recruits that will take place as managers at the stores that Shadow Miner's been assistant manager at. So that gives him free time to work on other Sagomatic projects and developing the project we're doing and so much more.
Oh wow, yeah, and yeah, I've that's great. That's great news. First off, I want to say, it's great that he trained some people to, so he can have some free time to, work on our project. And also, it's I heard, he's kind of, I heard that he also had some, certain ideas that he was trying to, put out on, a testing, website or app before, he actually puts it into fruition.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, so I was like, yeah, it's like I said, man, even though we're making, little progress, any progress is great progress, is what I said.
Absolutely.
So I was like, hey, I mean, I'm glad I'm glad we're at least doing something.
Yep. And also looking back at times where people like, you know, how do I say this? There were a few that kind of doubted this would go ahead. Others thought this was a scam. And others thought, oh, you're just meat riding or something and trying to get publicity whatever you can. Like at some point, with whatever progress that comes along, and there is the next stage that we will meet into achieving what we want, we'll look back and just have a laugh about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna look back at and laugh at this, man, because it's really is a kind of a laughable situation if you think about it. I mean, we're doing stuff little by little is what I'm trying to say. Essentially, we're doing stuff little by little. It might not be fast. It might not be what as fast as we want it to go to. But at the end of the day, we're getting stuff done, little by
It's
little.
consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent. You know, whether if we take our time, our sweet time, or take or somehow go faster. It's consistent at the end of the day. So it's you know time is a process is making progress is requires patience.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, so at the end of the day, I mean, hey, once again, any progress is great progress, whether it be fast or slow. So hey, I'm just glad to hear that Shadow Miner is well, for one, he's gonna have a little bit more time to work on other stuff. I'm really glad for that. And
Yep,
I'm glad that he trained up those people to take care of the stores while he's away.
indeed.
Hey, but once again, it's like I said. I think I said this in the last episode. I'm glad he's not having doing a soul crushing job that he hates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because before it was almost it almost feels like yesterday that he was working at Staples, right? He said
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Staples, and they were letting people go. Now hey, he's running multiple stores and hiring people and training people up, and hey, it's just great.
Yeah, fantastic. Good for him.
Yeah, but now to the project, man. It's so yeah, I'm looking forward to this project. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has in mind. And so far, some of the ideas that he's put out on that applicate on that test application that he's using, it looks good. It looks pretty good. It looks solid so far. I'm just waiting to see what other ideas he may or may not have. But hey, but what else is in the news?
One last thing before we get into that. There's something I would have mentioned the day that I got back, but of course I had guests the moment I arrived back and had to do those episodes. Is my 1 week trip to Switzerland.
Oh, nice. Wait, you're going to
Yeah,
Switzerland, or you already went?
I just got back a few days ago as of this recording.
Ah, okay. How was Switzerland?
Well, Switzerland's been great, and of course, it's almost history and a lot of values that not a lot of countries have, and I like it.
What kind of values?
Well, for one thing, it's known for its neutrality. Now, people can say whether it's good or bad, but what's important to note is, for the longest time, for a century or two, Switzerland had never been involved in any wars. Not World War One, not World War Two, and especially not what is happening right now.
Wow, that's actually very interesting. That is no involved in no wars whatsoever.
Yes, and they have the highest percentage of gun ownerships amongst civilians in the country. So at least every Swiss person that is an adult, of course, they at least own one gun. Maybe more, but at least one guaranteed.
Ah, wow. That is great to hear, man. That is. I mean, hey, whatever it takes to protect yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait. Oh, sorry. I was just reading something real quick. But
Okay.
yeah. But it's like it's like wow. I didn't even know you can own guns in Switzerland.
Well, you don't get just a gun right away. I think something my dad told me when I was visiting Switzerland with my family is that by the time you finish education in Switzerland, you have to do 2 years of military service in Switzerland. So it's just standard military training, like in South Korea. They do essential military training for at least 2 years, and then once you're done, you enjoy life. But in Switzerland, once you're done with military training, you get a gun to protect yourself for whatever events that is out of our control.
Hmm. Wow. That's very interesting. This is stuff that I really didn't know.
And neither did I. Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit, but not much, not so much. Yeah.
Hey man, there's a lot of things I don't know about Switzerland. So hey, I've only been in the United States. I have not traveled anywhere else. I want to, but it's like I can't right now.
Yeah, but if you want to, just note that if you think cities like London, Barcelona, Berlin, or Paris is expensive, all of Switzerland, no matter where you go, is just as pricey, if not more, especially in Swiss cities. The prices are absolutely wild. It's like it's like millionaires' dream residence. Like the only way you can afford living in Switzerland is if you're a millionaire,
I don't.
at best.
Hey man, I don't know why millionaires don't aspire to go to Switzerland. I'll be honest. Most of them complain about the United States, or at least the ones in the RP space, or like just self improvement space. I mean, they complain about the United States, so I don't know why they don't move to Switzerland if they can afford it. Technically, I mean, it seems like a great place to be if you're a millionaire.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to get a very good wage, which Switzerland has one of the highest minimum wages in the world. Like, you could get paid an equivalent of 23, 25 francs an hour.
Wow, that is pretty high, higher than New York.
Yeah,
I think it just depends on the job in New York, but like it's definitely higher than New York.
yeah.
Although our
No,
minimum,
no minimum wage is lower than that in Switzerland. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I'm sorry you had to hear that.
That's alright.
All right. Anyways, but yeah, it's like Switzerland, man. It's like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like even if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't really go to a place where I have to pay more money to like it to live though. I don't know. It's like because if I had the money, it's like why would I want to spend it to pay rent or pay off someone else's mortgage? At least that's how I see it. I mean, to all is each his own. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I already got a good amount of money right now, but I'm still reluctant to spend it on certain things. I could, although I could, but at the end of the day, I guess I'm just, I guess I'm just cheap.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but what else has been in the news recently?
Well, something I found on Instagram, plastic inking fungi.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm like, is that good or is it bad?
Well, give us a fungi that eats plastic, good? Question mark? I mean, if it only eats plastic, Why should we be worried? Unless we're made of past plastic, that's for sure.
I mean, that's true. I mean, hey, if it only eats plastic, then that's good for the ocean. That's good for the ocean. I mean, there's going to be no more plastic in the ocean if the plastic is just being eaten by the fungi. I mean, there's really going to be no more in the ocean then. So I really see no reason to worry. But at the same time, it's like, huh, is that good or is it bad? I'm just trying to figure out if it's good or bad.
Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask the climate activists and anywhere on the left, they say it's good because Mother Nature is trying to tackle the problems that most people aren't doing that climate activists are wanting us to do. So, I mean, at least as long as someone's doing the job, fair enough.
That's true. That's true. As long hey, because we definitely weren't doing the job ourselves. So hey, as long as something's doing the job, then I guess that's all that matters. But hey, hey, good for the fungi. I mean, I would assume that those fungi just evolved from time to time to be able to eat plastic. That's what I'm assuming because it's like it just makes more sense to think that in my head rather than just saying, hey, they've always been down there, now they're just like, no, they're like, I believe they just evolved to just so they can eat the fungi and get rid of it because it's been polluting the ocean for so long. But hey, it's all each zone, man. The fungi seems like it's gonna be something good. And oh, I should have bought this TV. Oh right, I said I was gonna buy the Roku TV. I should have bought this TV. Never mind. I already bought the TV. I already bought my own TV. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, I already bought one TV. I'll probably just buy this another time. Yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, yeah, like what was I saying before?
Shoot. You said something about bogies.
I think I was talking about fungi.
Oh yes, plastic eating fungi.
Uh, yeah, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I'm just gonna finish off and saying this. Yeah, it's like yeah, they're doing a job for us. That's good.
Fair enough. Yes.
Yeah. So what else has been in the news? I mean,
Uh, you can trade Bitcoin on the stock market.
Bitcoin. Oh, really?
Yeah, Nasdaq have filed with SEC to launch Bitcoin option trading.
I've heard something about Bitcoin. I heard something about Bitcoin. I think I sent the video in there. It's about I think it was insinuating that Obama was the one who secretly owned Bitcoin. And I just don't really know if I believe that or not.
Uh, I would have suspicions, but don't jump to conclusions so soon, because there's someone else that could have a different claim that's completely unrelated, or somewhat related, but there's a different layer of context attached to it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, I would I would suspect anybody else to own Bitcoin but Obama. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like
Yeah,
anybody else in the world.
yeah.
Like just
And actually, one example, I've seen something on Instagram threads that there was a point that the value of Bitcoin dipped massively because someone had decided to, quote, fire the CEO of Bitcoin. What?
please
What?
say that one more time.
The
Wait,
value of Bitcoin dipped massively because because someone fired the CEO of Bitcoin.
who's the CEO of Bitcoin? Do we even
I
know?
don't know.
How are you gonna tell us this news and we don't even know the CEO of Bitcoin?
Oh my gosh, the internet is so stupid.
No one else
Uh,
has a song called "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number."
oh,
Yeah, I know, but okay, never mind. It's whatever. Anyways, yeah, it's like we don't even know who the creator of Bitcoin is.
yeah, yeah, let alone the CEO. Like, isn't Bitcoin a decentralized currency, like monetary
Suppo-
currency?
Supposedly it is, yeah, but
How is someone supposed to be in charge of the ongoings of a decentralized monetary currency?
I I,
How on earth does that work?
I personally don't know how it would.
Neither do I.
I personally don't know how that would work or how it's going to work. But the point is like, look, man, we don't even know who the person who owns it. So it's like, why would we care who gets fired or not if we don't even know who owns it or who owned it at least? Is that
Well, yeah, but that didn't stop the value of Bitcoin dropping down all of a sudden.
that's true? That's true though. But I'm not gonna lie. You know what would be funny
But
if because I'm not gonna lie. The moment I'm not gonna lie. A couple weeks ago, I posted. I'm pretty sure we were talking about like Kamala Harris and like what her plan was for the country, and I said
yeah,
and I posted Obama was like one man does though like one man has a plan for this country. Then he said F Obama in his fourth term.
yeah.
I'm not. I don't know why that's so funny, but it's like I'm just thinking of like it's like if Obama owned this and that, etc. It's like Risk would be so pissed, bro. That'd be terrible for us, but funny. His reaction would be funny.
Yeah.
But but hey, it's like at the end of the day, it's like it's like Bitcoin. I'll be honest. I think I tried one time with Bitcoin, but it's like I didn't really get it. I didn't 100% get it. I understood it to a degree, but it's like I didn't 100% get it. So it's like hey, it's like whatever I'm missing out on. I guess I'm missing out on it. Do you have any Bitcoin investments?
Well, yes, I do. I have Bitcoin investments. I also have digital Bitcoin miners. Like, dig like I'm talking about digital computers, chips, or motherboards that digitally mines Bitcoin for me, like you would in in a physical setup.
Wow, you have all that does that for you.
Yeah, yeah, I have a digital setup of mining Bitcoin, which the money I've used to get that come from the investments I've made or earned from investments on the stock market. So
How much have you made
things
so far?
from what? The stocks or the crypto mining?
Both.
Well, it's gonna take a while. However, I made at least £10 from the crypto mining, just getting started, and I have a portfolio of stock markets with a value of £681.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and it's steadily growing by the month.
Wow, that's actually that's impressive. That is a very impressive actually.
Oh yes,
Yeah, I mean, I commend you, man. It's like whatever you got to do, man. Like just do it, and obviously as long as it's legal, then like hey, man, as long as you're making like some money, man, that's all good.
game is game.
Yeah, exactly. So is there anything else in the news?
Uh, I got a message actually from the platform where I've made stock stock market investments, saying that the Banking of England is reducing its interest rates. So on on Trading 212, the platform I use for stock market investments, the the initial rate is currently at 5.2%. They say they're going to reduce it to just 5%, starting between late September to early October. Maybe later, but certainly this year. And the same thing can be said for my bank. In terms of my savings accounts, the interest rate will go down by 10% gross, or like 0.10% gross, actually.
Oh, 10%.
Or not 10%, it's going down by 1/10 of a percent, which is like 0.10
Ah, okay.
for my bank, but for Trading 212, that's going down by 0.20%.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, I know it's only little, but
Yeah.
how long could they keep this up and not notice how big of a difference could it be until it's too late?
Yeah, yeah, it's like that's what I was thinking. It's like it's not really that much, but at the same time, it's like you're right. How long could they keep that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how long would you think they would be able to keep that up?
Well, maybe as long as no one raises any suspicion.
Every
Okay?
everyone is pretty suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you heard that, that was my chair, not me.
You know, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's, yeah, it's like I'm always laying in my chair. Like I didn't want you to think that was me. That was me doing that in the
I
background.
definitely understand. I know from experience that a chair is most likely to make those kinds of noises. Like, how would a human be able to make that noise for that long?
Yeah, yeah, like because I know it's because I did like it sounded weird and it's like yeah, it just sounded like I farted.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I get that. But of
Yeah,
course, I
I
don't think that's humanly possible, in
I,
my opinion.
I mean it probably is, but it's like I'm pretty sure most humans.
But not many people could do that.
Yeah, that's true. Not many people would.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's like uh, I'll be honest. You probably have to get checked at the doctor if you could do that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, hey, but like, hey, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, for the most part, it is what it is.
It is, yeah.
So what else is it? Oh, I,
Yes?
I also like said something. I also said something else about like Kamala too. I said Kamala's not that bad looking.
You know what? Yeah, I agree. Like, of course, not many people agree with the ideas she has, but of course,
I mean,
from experience, yes, I get that. Yeah, I see what she's saying.
I mean, like yeah, it's like it's like, look, I mean, look, I get it that I get that I don't agree with her. I get that a lot of people don't agree with her, but it's like I look at Kamala and I'm like, I can see why some people would be attracted to her. He's
Yeah, absolutely.
not that bad looking. I mean, her policies are, I don't even know her policies, but I'm saying like in the face, he's not that bad looking. All
Fair
What are
enough,
you
yeah.
on about?
right?
Grifter.
Kamala Harris.
The grifter.
I
The
guess so,
person that
yeah.
Trump suggests turned black simply just for political brownie points.
Oh yeah, and she said, "Next question, please."
Next question.
I mean, he's right though. I mean, he's right
He's
though.
right. Kamala Harris is a fucking political grifter.
I mean,
They say Trump's a grifter. She's using someone else's fucking culture to get ahead. She claimed she was Indian a couple of years back, and now she's black.
So-
Indians aren't even black. Indians aren't even black. They're more English. Indians are more English than fucking English people.
hey,
How the fuck can you say they're they're black? They're not.
hey,
Indians. I've always said Indians are probably the closest thing you're gonna get to a British person out of those people. Like you're not gonna get out of the Africans, but you might be able to get out of the Indians.
hey, man, Kamala's a strong, independent woman.
She's a grifter.
Okay,
One word to describe Keir Starmer. The
she's
guy
not.
is trying to freaking ban smoking outside pubs. The guy is basically said, "Oh, we're not going to back we're starting a new energy company, but we're not going to back the North fucking Sea. You're trying to build an energy company, but you don't want to drill in the North Sea.
Like, so someone is going to drill the oil out at some point.
Yeah, you're going to have to drill
You
oil.
may as well as get it out the way.
Yeah, if you want to fucking do the green energy shit, right? Cool. Drill fucking oil in the North Sea, keep some jobs in it, use that money to transition your energy fleet. But no, we have to buy our energy from fucking America or abroad, where they're going to fucking shaft us on fucking transition fees.
Also, unrelated, but I'm not gonna lie. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter or X diss Indians lately.
Indians aren't bad people.
Yeah, I know.
They're not bad people. They're just pissed because they're fucking coming to this country, right? Illegally.
Yeah,
And it's bad because there's a lot of them that are actually hardworking.
that's
They're
true.
not smart as us, but
That's true. Some of the store ox, like in my neighborhood, they're
they're not smart, but they're not bad people. Like it's just the way they've been brought up. They're not bad people, but
yeah, some store ox in New York are Indian. So hey, I'm not gonna say they're bad people. They're hardworking. They have their own store and all that stuff. But
yeah,
it's like hey,
they've got the exact same image as what the American dream is about. It's the only downside. It's the ones that freaking ruin it.
it's the
It's the ones that support Islam, like the normal Indians and the Hindus.
Oh.
They're fine. You can get along with any other religion. It's just them are the ones that the problem.
Oh yeah, yo, I found out one other thing too. Apparently, most Muslims vote Democrat.
They only vote Democrat because they don't. They want to rule. They want to destroy a civilization. They
Exactly.
actually are very conservative people.
Yeah, it's
They're
like,
not.
yeah, I'm like, bro, it's like you're voting Demo. So you're aligning with people you don't disagree. They're playing. You don't disagree. You disagree with.
Black woman in London hits random white people for fun to increase impressions on her social media profiles.
Wait,
And you
what?
wonder why we fucking hate, why people despise them. The guy wasn't even, this woman wasn't even doing anything. She was on the fucking train. This cunt fucking whacks her.
Bro, what? She just did that for no reason. Like no reason whatsoever, unprovoked.
I feel like at this point they just do it just to get a reaction out of people, and it's working.
That's true.
Whatever they're doing a good job.
They're doing something all right.
Yeah.
A Muslim guy is losing his mind because a dress doesn't cover a woman's ankle. Seriously, what's up with these people? Dude, you chose to come to this country. You could have stayed in fucking Muslim Pakistan. You can move to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, okay, unrelated again. This woman's big personality is going. Wait, hold on. This girl is going viral for having a big chest.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
What is it?
Fucking hell. This could bankrupt the Paul and Kate. This could bankrupt them.
Who's gonna get bankrupt?
Prime.
Byte.
Prime is being sued for having 3x the amount of cancer-causing forever chemicals in one can.
I feel like something has been discussed before, and there's
Johnson and
nothing to back
Johnson
that
with
up.
a Talmac baby powder, they're getting fucking sued into oblivion. This could bankrupt them. And they're not exactly a big company. They're a couple million or a couple billion dollars, right? And they could go bankrupt.
Yeah, I feel like something has been done before, and I think they're still standing just fine. But yeah, that does look pretty bad, if that is
Ukraine
true.
shot down its own F-16 with a Patriot. Why would you shoot down your own fucking jet? That's just dumb.
Wait, this woman seriously went viral for just showing her cleavage? Seriously?
What is that? Because a Muslim was reacting about it, didn't like it.
Wait, hold on. What about Muslims?
I thought you were saying that. Why was she showing her cleavage?
Yeah. No, it's like, a woman like just went viral for talking and just like, shaking her chest around. But anyways, like, what were you guys saying before?
Prime could get sued.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that. Oh yeah, no, I definitely heard of that. Prime could. Oh yeah, I've heard of like Prime potentially getting sued for having some chemical.
Whenever Muslim advocating for Sharia law in the West, remember this is what they support: whacking of women with whips. Damn.
With whips. I mean, come on, bro. I can't say that. I mean, I get that you have to be the man, but like, bro, don't whip the girl. I get that you have to show authority, but don't whip the girl. Like, golly, man. Like, you can show your authority by doing anything but whip. It's weird.
British police arrest 11-year-old. I literally linked to the imaginary far right riots. The British government are literally shoving the face down that we live under a brand new tyranny right in your face. Effectively, they went after a fucking 6-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and they're bragging about it for basically tweeting on using X.
Wait, hold on. They went after a kid and they're bragging about it.
Yes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it was a fucking. Like, I'll read you the tweet. I couldn't tell. I think I might have deleted it because it was that freaking. But they were bragging about it. It was concerning.
Like, bro, what?
I think I might have deleted
Look, guys, we arrested a kid for saying something online that we don't like.
it. Yeah, it was
Now
some
he's going to jail or something.
some type of weak police
I don't
station
get that.
First off, what is a kid doing online?
Have you seen most people? Have you seen most youngsters on TikTok?
That's
Fuck.
true. Yeah.
But
Oh,
what's your opinion on Pope Francis saying it's a grave sin for people to reject migrants in their countries? Fuck off.
that's nowhere in the
Fuck
Bible.
off, Francis.
That's
You
not
cunt.
Bible.
We disowned your ass years ago because we don't give a fuck about you.
I'll be
So
honest.
realistically, the UK disowned the fucking Catholic Church. We told him to fuck himself centuries ago.
I would say, man, like I would say the Catholic Church would be fine if it didn't have Pope Francis.
The thing, no, it'd still be bad. They've still got a fucking shitload of fucking even cretins in that place.
That's true.
Even if you get him, you're still have another fucking cretin.
Hey, I would say
Benedict. I think the guy that was, Exodus or Exodus, or one of the guys that was in Hitler, right? He was siding with Hitler, so he might have had some good in his heart. Who knows? Years ago.
I'll say this, man. Like, it's not a grave sin to reject migrants from your country. There's nothing.
Irish Gardaí police force are advertising recruitment for Irish police on Pakistani TV. Why the hell would you? Bill Gates, I spend about $9 million a year buying sustainable aviation fuels. And I'm sure you get a fucking good tax deductible on that as well, buddy. Don't play it like you're doing something for the environment. No, you're getting a tax right. You're getting a fucking tax write off.
Here's
He's pretending like, oh, I helped the environment by buying £9 million worth of fuel. No, you got a fucking tax write off on your fucking fuel bill. You probably got a government write down as well. Did I tell you about the fact that there's this new game that came out, right? Which is basically like a propaganda arm. It basically is government USA government funded propaganda. It's only got 100 players that played it so far.
But yeah, you did say something about that in the chat.
Yeah, it's like so effectively, yeah, he made a game. Yeah, the government, your tax dollars, Eric, has funded this game. Same with Sweden, they use.
Hold on.
It's basically a game teaching kids to be activists, supposedly.
A game teaching kids how to be activists.
Yes, to be offended by everything.
Whatever happened to just regular video games? Like,
The thing is, there's been a lot of DEI in video games and in movies, right? I'm starting to think maybe the government is behind funding this shit. So our tax dollars that we've been raised on could be funding this crap. Not to mention funding the DEI crap. I'm presuming that BlackRock got a shitload of money from the government to help fund this shit, right? And it's going through BlackRock. Because BlackRock, the American government uses BlackRock as a way to push their certain agendas without them getting involved. Stuff that they couldn't push on the freaking political stage because the people would react and wouldn't like it. But BlackRock can push it secretly in the shadows.
There's a lot.
So what else is new?
There's a lot of things such secretly in the shadows.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I told Eric about my trip to Switzerland, but something I've not yet mentioned yet in this episode was on the way back. Well, that too, but it's not that big of a deal as last time. Look, Risk, there's something I mentioned, and if that happened to me when I was coming back from Switzerland, that would be too obvious.
Yeah. So you think there was about to be a bomb? You think there was about to be like a massive, like, some type of 9/11 shit on a plane?
Well, no, I said something about on the way back that there was this man who was trying to get something for the overhead locker, and the flight attendant told him multiple times to sit down because it was for safety purposes, but he still ignored anyway. He thinks like, oh, the rules don't affect me, I just live my life however I like. Yeah, my people are respected here. Like, I don't have to say what this man identifies as. I know people have every right to come with their own conclusions on that.
Okay.
But yeah, if you know, you will know.
Speaking of identification, I sent in a video where this woman was teaching her, supposedly, I believe, high school students about her zer pronouns, and she wanted to be referred as to Teacher Darren, and not Mr. Darren, teacher.
I've seen that video so many times.
Of your fucking lunacy.
She was dressed like a whole dude, yet she wasn't a boy or a man or a woman. She was gender neutral.
Why are we putting these people in schools? These people in mental institutions. These people have no business teaching kids.
You know, the real question I have is that...
How the fuck did you pass a fucking screening test from the teachers?
The real question I have with this is that before all of this was a thing, were they ever like this as adults at all?
They were probably pushing this shit. They've been pushing this shit since the early 90s and 80s.
Huh.
Now what I think about it, Eric, I look back on my school and education, right, and I question, maybe there are a lot of stuff that does not make sense, and is a little bit dodgy and skeptical, and I do question. And as a kid, right now, I didn't really think much of it, but now as an adult, I kind of think, damn, this is kind of weird as fuck, and I do question it, right? I also do question to the point where literally that kids maybe teachers are not supposed to be maybe a lot of people that go into teaching should not be in teaching. Maybe they should be in a mental institution. It does seem like they're hiring the most unqualified people to be teachers nowadays.
Yeah, they're doing that on purpose.
Yeah, because they want people to be dumb.
Yeah.
Clearly lowering the education level and standards.
Oh yeah, I talked to this one girl at a Spirit Halloween yesterday, and she even notices that kids it's probably nearing Halloween, and she's even noticing that kids aren't really going out as much as they used to, and I'm like, yeah, it's because these kids, man, these parents be shoving the phones in kids' faces, and I'm like, so yeah,
That and partly, and have you seen certain places in America? Like, they're scared of getting robbed or knifed in certain parts.
yeah,
Yeah, I
but
wouldn't be going out in public either. I'm scared to leave my house. What the state the country's in. In
I
case
mean,
I
yeah,
get fucking knifed.
I mean,
I
no, not,
do it anyway.
I mean, but yeah, at the same time, it's a very fact. It's like, bro,
It's sad though, but when
it's
we don't
bad.
live in we don't live in a safe society anymore. We don't live in a no trust society anymore. We can't. There's people. This kid, this guy at my work, right? He leaves his phone on out on a table, right? This guy clearly thinks he lives in 1960s. Because no offense, and it's a youngster, right? He's in his early 20s. Dude, you do not live in a safe society. You don't know who's around, right? Works there. For all you know, they could fucking nick it. You don't know. You can't do stuff like that anymore because realistically, you don't know who's around. You don't know these people. I've had people steal bottles off me at my work.
Bro, bottles.
Bottles or a fucking cutter, or even like freaking other stuff, right?
I'm
Who
not
knows?
gonna. I'm not gonna
But
lie. Also,
I wouldn't do that. You can't trust people because I keep everything on me because I don't trust people, and I haven't trusted people for a long, long time.
yeah,
You definitely can't, you definitely shouldn't keep something on a fucking something that costs like what 200, 300, 400, maybe 500, 600. Something that clearly looks like it costs about £700, £600, right? You can't leave that shit like that, right? Especially now when most people probably have their bank accounts on their fucking phone, right? Why the fuck would you take the chance? Are
and
you a fucking moron?
I also
Like,
say this too. The parents were I've seen so many parents and or just American parents, and I'm like, some of them be
doofus's.
some of them be having their kids walk all the way behind them. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Because
Tell
they're
your
too
kid,
embarrassed.
huh?
Probably embarrassed. The state of the country, right? I saw this old guy, right, with his daughter, right? I
No, I was
felt
like some. No, I
she's
was like,
just gonna fucking shove you. I felt sorry for the bloke. She's just gonna shove him in a home.
I was like some of
The
them. Some
guy looks like he was about. The guy looks like he was 80 in getting there to be like 60, 70. I
he's
just said, Luke, you just look like you were shoving it home. You clearly. And let's be real here. It didn't even look. She didn't even look like she even fucking worked.
I was like some of the
And the
no,
guy even made a joke about it. But Jesus,
some of these couples are young, but it's like they have their young kids walking behind them, and I'm like, yo, let your kid walk in front of you, because if I was like that bad of a person, I could easily just pick up your kid and take them.
I also hate it when women like fucking put their phones behind their in their back pockets. Like, look, dude, you clearly have had a sheltered life because literally there's a lot of places. If you go into the world, in a lot of places, and especially in London, if you try to have your phone behind your back, that's just a gateway drug to getting it fucking nicked. There are people like that in London, and there are people like that in probably Luton, and there's probably people like that in freaking Glasgow, in Leeds, and in Manchester as well. There's probably people in all parts of the cities.
Yeah,
You should be
absolutely.
scary about it. Cities are not the safest place. They haven't been because they're run by liberals, and liberals have made them unsafe.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just unsafe. It's just
Germany has banned Islamic centers in Blue Mosque, which are extremist arm of the Islamic regime, a few weeks ago. Now Mohammed Haji Mustafa, director of Muslim, must leave Germany within 14 days.
within
Germany
14.
might be doing something here.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, everything is just everything is just out of control. I don't even think we can even do anything about it. We can't.
Kamala is not tied nor ahead of Trump in the polls. The truth is that she would be lucky to be in the teens. The fact of the matter is that they are telling you these lies. Hope that when she wins, by cheating of course, it will be easier for you to accept. This is probably actually right.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Do any of us really want a woman president?
No.
Well,
I
if
will make
that
the
woman was
facts
good
say this
enough,
here.
then you know what, I'll give it a try. But if not, then
Yeah,
Give someone else a shot. That has the qualities,
yeah,
I
cause
think.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen and heard many competent women who have masculine traits. Kamala isn't one.
Walls repealed the Minnesota Born Alive Infants Protection Act, which would have required an infant born alive to be recognized as a human person. It requires all reasonable measures to preserve the born alive infant's life and health. Seeing these lived women laugh and clap now that they can watch healthy babies die is sickening. Even a lower dark place in hell it's full. Why the fuck would you sign something like that?
Hold on. There's something in the news. Former persecutors endorse Kamala Harris, claiming Trump packed the Supreme Court with extremely.
He Trump packed the Supreme Court with people with common fucking sense. You don't. The guy she's mad at, right? Some of the people she's mad at, right? Is the people. Some of these people that she's mad at, right? Are people from fucking Clinton era, from the Clinton era and George Bush era. She's mad at some of it from Clinton and the Bush era, right? Some of the people she's mad at are people that were endorsed by Clinton and Bush. She's mad at people that were endorsed from presidents long ago. She's mad at there's people in that court that are freaking going to hold her accountable. That's what she's mad at. What else is there?
Eton College will pass on full cost of 20% VAT to parents.
We'll expect for blessed people to fuck. Why?
Well, basically, in the eyes of Labour, rich people bad, poor people good. But that's a whole other debate.
But
People would
again,
argue.
poor people could never afford places like that, right? And they were probably stretching at best. That just means that a lot of people that are middle class will never will lose out on that.
Did you see the post I sent from Obama? How it started, how it's going. 10 years later,
Did you
it's
see the
still,
post? Will's appeals in Minnesota Act, which is weird. Why the hell would you?
man doesn't even like Kamala, but it's his fourth. But it's his like take it fourth term.
I just came to the realization right here, guys. Came to the
Go on.
realization last night, right? Kamala's been president for fucking the last 4 years, right? She's still got another 8 years to go.
Oh, oh no!
And if she wins, that's like 8 full years as full-time president.
Not to mention, let's be real here, she would be breaking the third term, which has been barred for a long, long time. Presidents aren't allowed to go past the third term. But let's be
what
real
about
here. Biden's basically been run by Obama. So what do we care?
Oh,
Well, what about Franklin D. Roosevelt? He had like 3 full terms. He was getting in his fourth, but then all of a sudden he passed away in his fourth term.
How was that even allowed?
wait, who passed away in their fourth term?
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Huh?
How is he allowed to do that, by the way?
Well,
Was that for
I don't know the full answer. I don't know the full answer, but something along the lines of public support, and also Franklin D. Roosevelt was president during the time of nearly close to the Second World War, so
So
emergency powers
he
possibly.
abused the war. He probably kept himself in the war so effectively he could give himself extra time.
That could be one possibility.
True that.
And again, Franklin D. Roosevelt was the guy that tried to encourage the US dollar to be taken off the gold standard. Encouraged, not officially enacted. That would be Richard Nixon, who would do the enactment.
I don't think Nixon really wanted to do that. I think he was manipulated. Nixon, he was very against the Jews. He was critical of them. Same with Reagan. They were all critical of him. He didn't realize. I think the guy, I can't remember who it was. I think it was the guy in the 60s. Right, he was critical of them because he realized they have too much power. 19010, was it 18010 or 190? I think it was 18010. Right, the creation of the Federal Reserve. They went 4 people. All the bankers met at Jackal Island. Rothschild, Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan. They all met on Jackal Island and discussed for a secret meeting to discuss the creation of the Federal Reserve. A couple of years later, the Titanic happens. People that were against the creation of the Federal Reserve died. The Federal Reserve was created. Nobody ever talks about that.
Well, of course they wouldn't, because if people knew about that, they would be outraged and try and reenact something of their own.
So what do you think if Trump doesn't get in, do you think civil war will happen in America?
Something is going to happen. That's for
Do you
sure.
think they'll use it as an excuse to fucking bring in for a mass war with immigrants, illegals? That is why they freaking created. They've been sending military-aged men to America. Have you noticed that it's literally they've been Did you know that they've been putting men in military bases, young men in military bases, right? These immigrants in military bases, right?
I guess, yeah.
What if they are being trained to be military men to effectively, let's say, start a coup? Do you think there's anybody in the British people to stand up to the UK government in military? I mean,
Well,
older
well,
military.
at the rate we're going at, I
No.
think those chances are just going to get lower and lower, and eventually we're doomed. We're screwed.
Are we doomed already?
Well, it's hard to say because, well, most people don't know. I don't think a lot of people know about it, and if they do, it'll already be too late.
French people have already stated, ex-French military people have already stated, look, if Macron gets even more, they are willing to coup him. This is former and current French Navy people. Do you think Macron gets couped at some point?
Possibly, but we won't know it when we least expect it.
How long do you think Starmer will have? Do you think he'll be ousted?
I am certain there will be a vote of no confidence, although I think it'll take 2 years roughly when
They
that
can't
happens.
take 2 years, Jamie. He needs to be ousted now. Replaced
But the
with
thing
reform.
is, they have a huge majority. It's gonna take a lot of, well, I think it will take a lot of MPs, even in their own party, to say, you know what, we had enough. We need a new leader. And then, yeah, I think
Who are they
the
going
new
to
leader.
replace him with, though?
Well, I
Is there
can
a
think of
guy with
three
common
people.
sense that's not a fucking complete psycho in the Liberal Party? The Labour Party?
Well, I can think of three people that's most likely, regardless what you
Are they
or anyone
fucking
else would think.
psychos like him? Because if they're bad or worse than him, I'll take Starmer over them.
Yeah.
Angela Reyna, she's a fucking nightmare. She's going to say, we're going to shove all these illegals in every fucking district of the fucking UK.
Oh, you know what? I actually seen a news article that Rachel Rayner was seen partying in Ibiza. Did you know about that?
Angela Reyna.
No, no, Rachel Rayner. I can't tell what's her name anymore.
I think it's
But yeah,
Angela Rayner, even though she's a cow. But
all right, yeah, yeah. Angela Rayner
supposedly,
was.
in Australia, someone got a MP basically arrested. They arrested someone for calling an MP fat or obese on Twitter in Australia. The Australian MP fat in Australia, and she was fat. No, it was a German MP. I'm afraid it was a German MP, not Australian, German.
So, what's the issue? Why are people being? Why are
Because
the
this
consequences
the
given?
generation we've been brought. These people have been brought in. They think it's okay. They quite honestly believe that they're not going to get criticism. They can go after people simply just because they can. Because they say, oh, this woman's fat when she is, because they have power. They're on power trips. These people are on power trips. They know
Yeah,
they're
but
not going to be
how?
stopped, and they have unlimited power. Some could
Yeah,
say too much.
yeah, but still though, how is someone going to be given consequences speaking out on someone else from another country, like Australians speaking out someone from Germany and vice versa?
No, I think
If
it was a
it's
person in Germany that said it.
okay, but
Russian
either
President
way,
Putin says,
I can't argue what's
who
going on."
destroys whole nations do not have the right to teach us democracy and the values of living freely. Why do nobody?
Yeah, but still, Angela Rayner at a DJ booth in Ibiza, I would never thought I'd see the day.
I think I found something interesting about Antarctica.
Go on.
Put it in the chat. Very rare documentary of Vril and Fuel Society, Antarctica Advanced Civilization. Find the book Genesis for a New Space Age by the author John B. Leaf and Antediluvian Tech. Nazi hidden with Antarctica. Astonishing read. They chased Admiral Byrd and his army back to America. 2 of the second of the second. I've noticed a swelling of propaganda on misleading films throughout that have been prepared pre-propagating everything somewhere around 2050, except about reptilians and the actual condition of the present government. This is just leaving out enough for it not to be revealing much.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a while back. Like, there's different lands and societies within the Antarctica realm that we can't see to the naked eye from space, so that objectively. subjectively.
In Georgia, 9,000 ballots were counted from the single Zuckerberg Dropbox over one weekend, but surveillance shows only 24 people dropping off ballots. Oxford Microsoft Store attempted to be robbed by African gangs.
African gangs.
And you wonder why people aren't going to fucking leave you.
How many gangs are coming into this country? First, I heard of Mexican gangs. Then now it's African gangs. What else is there? Muslim gangs.
Or European gangs. At this point, it's not out of the question.
Right.
The UK has one of the highest retirement ages in the world, the lowest pensions in Europe, some of the longest working hours in Europe, one of the lowest minimum wages, the highest energy costs, the biggest profit, and the lowest taxes for the rich.
That.
This is that, but that's just some liberal talking, right? Compared to Germany and France, we have a higher value of living. We have higher living standards in most of Europe. This is just some labor schnoop.
So, we're practically better off than most developed nations, yet people
We are
still saying,
we are practically better off than most developed nations. We are probably more advanced than most of doing better than most of the nations in Europe. Not all, but a lot of nations in Europe we are doing pretty well off of. I think there's maybe 3 or 4 nations that maybe are doing better than us, or just about the same. That would be France, that would be Germany, that would be Poland,
Switzerland, of course,
Switzerland,
for sure,
Monaco,
and Luxembourg.
and Luxembourg, which is effectively France.
Well, Luxembourg's its own country,
I'll
actually.
also put in Brussels as well. And
Of
Belgium.
course,
I'll
because
put Belgium as well
Brussels is its own
because
thing at this point.
yeah. Other than that, everybody else is a thingy. But realistically, who's the main player in Europe?
The one with the money that's just printed out of thin air.
Who do you think's the most powerful country in UK in Europe in the EU Europe that has actual real power and it's not a vassal, effectively? I don't think realistically the only people that say, "Oh, the UN Security Council is basically we won World War II club," right? Everybody else is a vassal. Nobody else has power. Russia took their quadrant. Russia took their quadrant of territory. UK and America took their quadrant. So what's wrong with China? Why is the UK becoming China?
Well, essentially, a couple of riots happened, and the media was like, "Nah, this is outrageous," and Prime Minister Keir Starmer was like, "We can't put up with this. We're gonna enforce high security to ensure none of this happens again." And yeah, that's pretty much it
Swedish
in a
Deputy
nutshell.
Prime Minister Elba Busch. Islam must adapt to Swedish values. Muslims who do not integrate must leave the country. Honor killings, beheadings, stoning of women, and Sharia law have no place here. So why come to a non-Islamic country to complain that it's not so they can make it Islamic? Just comply. Conquest.
Like, why come here to begin with? Like, if you don't like the
Because they want conquest. They want to take our lands. They want to take our thing. They want slowly. What these people do, right? They are fucking cockroaches. They're leeches. They suck on your blood. They are leeches. These people are parasites and leeches.
They are.
They come to this country illegally with minimal costs. They spend fuck all money. All they do is breed and fuck. They slowly but surely gain positions and power by simply just being there. They slowly but surely breed, multiply to the point where they take over entire towns. And then slowly but surely they take over entire councils. And slowly but surely they gain enough power to the point where they can actually inflict change on mass scale. To the point where they have enough power to flip the government and promote an entire nation. Basically elect someone to parliament. That's effectively what Labour is. Labour is effectively the Muslim. Because any sane Muslim is effectively, any sane person, Muslim or normal person, is effectively chosen conservative. Because the thing with Muslims is they are actually conservative in nature. The only thing is they're not going to vote conservative because they know they can't reason with these people. They can't reason with, they can't fight with people that are sound and critical, with critical thinking. They have to go after the idiots that know nothing.
Exactly. It's like, so they play the long game with people they disagree with until they get.
Yes, they play the long game with people they disagree with, and as soon as they have enough power to slip and take over the party, they will. And then over time, they will go after those people that that were on their side years ago. They did it to Lebanon. They did it to They did it to Portugal. They did it to all Spain. They did it to all, if not most of the Muslim countries, former Muslim countries in Europe. There's a
See,
reason why none of these people like them. Former
now,
Muslim countries don't like them
now, why does that sound familiar?
because it's just like the Jews. They enter the country. They slowly convert and control the narrative. They slowly buy up all the media. They buy up all the media. Buy up all the news. They then slowly but surely control and change the narrative and change the text in the books of the freaking churches to fit their narrative. And over time, they slowly convert the masses to be idolist Jews to the point where they're worshipping a Jewish idol. The religion is basically worshipping a Jewish man and worshipping the Jew instead of worshipping the other part guy. That's how they slowly convert you. They manipulate you. So they only have control power over your nation.
I think there was a passage in the Bible referring to how foreigners that how people that are foreign to the land could have more power over the natives of that land. Something along those lines. I
It's
feel
true.
like some passage has been said at some point in the Bible.
The thing is, so why the fuck? This is the thing. Let me explain to you guys how you conquer a country. Okay, so let me begin. You don't conquer a country through war anymore. Why would I conquer a country through war where I shed and I lose blood and I lose valuable men in population? Why would I sacrifice some of my great men, my army, right? Why would I sacrifice my army when I don't even have to shoot a single fucking bullet? All I have to do is get said country. So, for example, let's say, give me an example or country. Give me a country.
All right, Spain.
Okay, so let's say I'm Spain, right? I decide to give me another country.
All right, Morocco.
Okay, so let's say I'm Spain. I want to slowly but surely make Morocco mine. So effectively, I start giving Morocco special trade deals. I get them in my block. I slowly but surely worm my way into their hearts, like a married couple. Then over the years, I slowly but surely add on. I start off with central. I start off with a couple trade agreements, and then surely after that, we go for a free trade movement, so we can have free movement. Then I do a currency thing, and then I slowly but surely integrate our armies together. So we do joint military exercises, and over time, we slowly but surely combine, and then we go for centralization of our monetary system. And then over time, we go for centralization of the political system. And then we effectively, over time, you gain a country. This is exactly what the EU does. This is exactly why we left the EU. Because the EU is effectively a bloc to control countries. And I suppose you could say the exact same thing about United States government, federal government. It's a way to trap and ensnare countries. And over time, Spain gets Morocco. So effectively, this is exactly how the EU basically ensnares countries. It basically strips the sovereignty out of these countries and makes them vassals. Is that us done?
Yes, that's the episode.
Okay.